Oh no. Oh, that's over.
This is NPCs. This is NPCs on this app.
Sorry, we got what? And so when she said the thing she said today, he said that, I was like, oh, they got her for contempt. Because that would be an easy contempt. I mean, she's lying under oath, because I think it was under oath.
Here's a question. Is it just because she's a woman? Because Hillary Clinton is arguably one of the most intelligent people we've ever had in American politics. Like, she's politically savvy. She's been the Secretary of State. What is it about Hillary they think they're going to get a got you with Hillary Clinton? I really want to know, because they come at her like she's gettable.
I don't know. They've been trying for years now. They've been trying. Like, I don't know why she was being deposed today. And to her about, what did she say? UFOs?
Right. But then the thing is, so she used it to get her shit off about the 2016 election. And you heard her talk about the election interference. I'm just saying, I don't know. I saw Hillary speak a while ago, and so I'm partial to Hillary, even though, everybody has their.
Welcome back to another episode of Trying to Catch CM, Trying to Fish CM. We're going to get you, CM, and we're getting very close. You're in a lot of trouble, CM.
They're going to be K-Rico, but we'll see.
I know you crock pot fella.
Wait, Matt, is there a name for Tallarico stands?
I've named them the Guerricos.
Oh my God.
Guerrico.
Tallarico.
Guerrico, papi. Tally, rico. Que rico, papi.
Your mayor's endorsement of Mr. Landa, how that's going to go?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Put out a video yesterday.
Well, it totally made sense. Because they co-endorse each other, which almost never happens in the mayoral race. Choice. So, and I think Leonard was, destined to be on his team, and he was the former city controller, but he's running for Congress. Is it against Dan Golden? Golden? Okay, so Brad is from the progressive left side, so it makes sense that Zoran's going to endorse him. Do you think he might be able to defeat Golden? I have to look at the new map, though, to see, because there are obviously more progressive. He's the one that's been, getting arrested at the immigration hearings and all that, and he's staunchly on the left, and people do like him. So it's very possible. I mean, they like Dan Goldman, too, but again, it's, Dan Goldman also comes from a lot of family money, too. And this is not my primary choice when he ran for the first time a few years ago.
Everyone listen.
Ultimately, I voted for him. But, thank you.
Establish a rule that all Mamdani questions go through Divine. Okay.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Okay. Democrat at 1,018,100. Wait, what is this? Yeah, I'll just do 1 million. Make it easy. 1 million. GOP 870. That is not enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
It's crazy. Yes, you are. That's Texas. His move toys are good. Someone's reading it, though. I hate when you're on Twitter and you're on there scrolling and then, moves. You're
Word, which that's a word people use to call people gay. The gay people said that, hey, we don't like this word. You know, you're referring to my sexuality. The word eventually became a slur, right? But there were people who used that term, like the F word, to mean gay, and did bad stuff to gay people, right? The word wasn't used the word wasn't used to do bad stuff to gay people. The word was just used, to call someone gay. But you guys are saying this. No, that term was used as like a way to disparage, to lynch, to do all these things to black people. Because they know.
That's an immediate moderation badge right there.
Because they were black. You were black, you would call the N-word. And they were bad white people who called, black people black and did bad things to black people.
You said bad things like it was just like a slap on the hand or something.
That's what you think bad things are? No, that's not.
But this man was thinking he was going to rouse co-workers or what have you. These white boys tied him to a pickup truck and dragged him miles.
I remember. Yo, make the picture of my son I drew?
Oh, I did it, man.
So this is why you don't compare the two words, because they are not comparable. You're talking about apples and oranges. The N-word and the F word.
They're not both slurs.
They are not comparable. The F word doesn't have. They're not comparable. The F word doesn't have a history. The F word doesn't have a history of terror and violence and murder associated with it, and almost genocide. No, it doesn't.
Why doesn't
it's always the white Latinas and now
why doesn't
nowadays?
If I define
Indians.
Oh my God, man!
Oh,
if I
calm
define
down, Miss Fifi. Why do you play victim after? By the way, that's a beautiful picture. I can totally see that that's your son because the way you drew him, when you focused on his eyes, I was like, by the way, what? That's Louis? No way!
Shut up, you Indian.
That's crazy, bro. Miss Fifi, I ain't gonna exalt you, Miss Fifi, because you like playing victim, alright? I don't want to. You're my elder, and I'm supposed to respect you. Right? Miss Dawn is just a racist, right? I don't respect that. Right?
Okay.
Okay, I'll be fast, man. Miss Dawn, look, you heard. The reason why is that both slurs, you could compare slurs, right? And another thing, too, what you guys are saying is like, I think it's a causation fallacy. You're saying that, hey, white people who did bad things to black people, they use the term N-word. And you're saying that because of this term, that's why they did it. It's like, no, you can find the same thing with the F slur. If I could point out something bad that happened to
they used the N-word while doing murder, to instill fear in people. Hey, N-word, don't you cross that street. Hey, N-word, don't sit here. And people were fearful.
No, Miss Dawn. They use fear. They use violence to instill fear. They use the N-word because that's what they call black people.
It's a tool.
They use the N-word because that's what they call black people.
Trolling now, I know you're trolling.
I don't know how you don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know you understand what I'm saying. So I don't know why you try to fight it. It just makes sense. Look, listen to the logic. The term N-word, it means black. White people call black people black. There you go. White people who are racist, they did bad stuff to black people, and they often call them black.
That was a derogatory term that was not used by people doing good.
Black people called black people
No,
use
they
the
didn't.
N-word the most. What do you mean?
Not until later.
I'm not talking about not the N-I-G-G-A. No, you don't even know. You don't even know.
Yes, it
No,
was.
you don't even know. You don't even know.
Yes, I do. And I'm older than you. Yes, I do.
And you're wrong. You're not more
I am
wrong,
not
though. You
wrong.
could be older, but you could live underneath a rock.
Wrong.
Look, black people call themselves the N-word as well, too. They did. They referred to themselves as the N-words. Because it didn't mean that derogatory to you.
The committee, as your next congressman, I will...
Originally, it was used derogatorily as a tool to make people fearful, to show power over them.
You see, Miss Dawn,
America was racist. Why they needed a word to show power? America, I don't even know why I'm talking to this stuff.
Word of advice, Miss Dawn. Look, I do this, right? Look, I don't say the word. I don't give my opinion on how it was. I don't know the history of it, right? Odds are, right, is that somebody is exposed to that word, probably knows the history better or not, right? And so when I hear stuff like that, Miss Dawn, I've been on this app for years, but you will rarely ever hear me give an opinion about like those issues, right? Because one, I'm not informed enough. Two, I really don't have like a dog in the fight, right? Because I don't use the word. I don't try to promote or dissuade certain people. Tino, your likeness,
We are
I
not
would
the
tell.
same, though.
My thing is,
I do.
I'm trolling.
Have a dog in the fight. You have no dog in the fight.
my thing is,
So how are you trying to tell a black woman to sit down?
Wait, what?
can I go real quick? My thing is,
Wait,
Nathan.
you're black, Miss Dawn? I did not know. No, I did
My
not know.
thing is, Nathan, black went through horrible, much worse things than being called it. But this is what they want to fucking stand on, bro. Like, this is what they want to cry about. They went through way worse shit than being called a nigga, and this is what they will always fucking, like, crawl up into a ball over, cry over, and shit. It makes no sense to me. Like, they give literally racists calling people niggas, they give them the power. Cause bro, y'all talking about
A disc changer, and that was a really old car, but it was like, I guess like aftermarket, and it was in the back of the car. You'd have to like go get out of the, I think you had to like get out and like go in the back and like put like the CDs in the back. Mm-hmm. I miss that car. I got pulled over all the time because it.
Why would you say something back if it doesn't affect you?
Yo, why y'all doing that? That's old age.
So now you want to switch stance or what? Are you trying to argue with
Like, bro, old age says something.
now you're trying to switch sides on me or what? Take a stance.
Can y'all chill with the ADHD? Can y'all chill up with the ADHD, please?
Discuss it. Not bad. I love my Italian brother, Red from. As you can see his PTR.
Look, I could be wrong, and it won't be the first time I'm wrong, but from what I
I'm just
understand,
trying to understand you.
from what I understand, that term was used to other and to dehumanize.
Families know that debt is out of control. Washington.
And I'm John Kitover. I'm running for Congress in Illinois 16. Born ready. Let's make democracy dance.
Inner peace. Let's make this third eye proud.
Whoa, what is happening here?
Just raising my frequency, man. Breathing, reset your body.
Folks, I'm John Kitover.
Yes.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Spirits, give me a sign. Say hi or something.
Back then. No, the whole world was racist back then, right? Because they believed at one point in time that black people was a subclass of humans, right? They believed that, they believed that black people were subclasses with humans.
Dr. John Kitover. I'm a physician, a veteran, and a neighbor here. John, focus on the center of your brain.
You say that it's a word.
Good enough. After a long shift, I'm giving myself a few minutes to meditate and raise my.
They called them. They believed that
welcome in. Find a comfortable seat on your mat. Let the show move. What a day. Fight him with that.
Call black people, which was the N-word. What happened eventually after black people gained their freedom and they were starting to gain an identity, they didn't want to be called anymore. They didn't want to be called black people. I believe that was light-skinned people that did this shit. Like Miss Fifi.
I'm Kitover. I'm running for Congress in Illinois' 16th district. I grew up here in northern Illinois. We work hard and we look hard.
Let's get to work. We're starting with a quick one. Body spots and some short rules over here.
Alright, settling in, focusing on the center of my brain.
John, you're shaking like my cousin's Pinto at 60 miles an hour. Oh, I'm at Harmony level 7. Yeah, and the coffee table's at Earthquake.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to order 3 large donuts. Are you on the phone?
Of course I'm on the phone. So am I.
Just used to call people who didn't call black. Slaves. It's because you're black, you're an N-word. And that's the definition of the word, man. Black. What racist people did, the black people, they wasn't doing it because of the term of because of the N-word. They was doing it because
When you're writing Canada, America.
Okay, so I'll just give a quick analogy just to show like how like slurs become slurs. Like back then, F slur meant what? A person that was homosexual. It was a curse word back then. It was just a curse word.
When you're writing,
say it, Christians can't say it because Christians don't curse, but some Christians curse and they will use it, right? That's not gay. And afterwards, gay people were like, hey, I don't like this. Then you know what gay people did too? They even appealed to the violent straight people to say, violent straight people use this word to degrade us before they were violent with us. Before they would like burn us or something like that, they would say these types of stuff. They don't want to be called this anymore. So then the word became a slur. The word originally meant gay. Similar to the N-word. The word originally meant black. Well, black people felt like, hey, this makes me feel a certain
I grew up here in northern Illinois.
They started saying, we don't want to be called this. You make me feel this way when you call me this. And that's when they said that, hey, it's a slur. And that's when they get like all those, they attribute all those other things to the word. But that was black people doing it.
I'm Kiddo.
It's not the same.
And this system is gone. We know that they're not the same, but they are slurs. And because they're slurs, I will point out the similarities on how slurs are, or how things evolve into slurs.
Like saying, yeah, we know that an apple isn't a fruit, but it's a fruit.
And fruit starts from a seed. Anyways, go ahead on Reginald.
Isn't your intention matter if it's a slur or not? Or no?
That's what I think. But some people, they think just it's bad.
Alright. So you do agree that your intention is what makes it a slur?
Yeah, context matters. Right. And someone
Context matters. The etymology of the word would matter too. So in that case, usage wouldn't be as powerful of how you rank the word if you know the history of the word. And they made the point earlier, it was meant to differentiate everybody in history. Like the Romans would call other people black because they thought of it as a pejorative. It was a derogatory term. They used the word
For a long shift.
I gotta pull up, I forgot the...
Yeah, but it's different tonight, right? Was it Nigel?
No. I'm lying down. I got my dental work done today. It's my head's not working full.
But it's different today, right?
It is.
If they're calling each other, it's different.
If it isn't different today, me and you would be able to freely use it.
Exactly. If somebody will hit you, when you're run, if you say
You can freely use it, but you're
we can freely use it.
Your freedom of speech absolutely.
Consequence, you can say,
You're
can
afraid
say
of
like
speech
screw
after
you
that
and get
position
caught.
doesn't save
And
you
come
from
back and tell us.
becoming
You can tell someone screw you and get caught.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. Peace. Old Americans got a long shift. I'm giving myself a few minutes to meditate and raise my vibration.
the Turkic states on
The long shift.
Well, we were
history.
because I we're not at all.
Stop being emotional faggots and allow somebody to fucking finish. Jesus Christ. If you guys care about context and etymology, then you would know that the word was purposefully united.
But if you're a Republican patriot, you will write in John Kitover. You will not vote for Darren Mahoney. John Kitover is certified in all counties and precincts of the 16th district, so be sure to write in John Kitover for the 16th district to unseat and defeat Darren Mahoney.
Be a very common trope in the Pacific Northwest, and also in the Atlantic Northeast. Right? These are context, bro. This is history. This is only 100-some years ago, bro. What are we talking about? And the word
that's what I'm
faggot,
saying.
the etymology of faggot is also the difference is it's who you care to offend, right? Do I care to offend 1% of the population who I can't align with and I disagree with, or do I care to offend 16 to 18% of the population who I do culturally align with? That is why I choose to freely exercise my freedom of speech and use faggot, but I call the N-word the N-word, right? Contact.
Not a real nigga. Not a real nigga.
People can't stay on the point, which is crazy because they use the word again on each other today, and all of a sudden that doesn't matter. But that's the funny part. No one wants to address that.
Particularly knowing why the insults. Americans, the state of our union is strong.
Nate's argument and why we were arguing so hard. Sorry, I have nuts in my mouth. Okay.
That's what she said.
He's arguing that it wasn't horrific ever. Black people called each other N-words and all this, and we're saying no. He's trolling. That's incorrect. It was used to, excuse me. It was used to instill fear in people. It was derogatory. It was tied to horrific crimes, right? In the past, we're talking about, not today. Of course, today it's been washed down, right? And it doesn't hold the power that it used to hold, right? And that's a whole. But then it was powerful. People were.
You're just making shit up. What are you talking about? What the fuck? That's the dumbest shit I heard.
Dr. John Kitover. Folks, I'm John Kitover. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another election.
Like so many other words, it was split. The meaning has always been traditionally, how about that? Meant to be used in a horrific way, because of the history that was going on at the time. Or, but it was definitely something that was derogatory. I don't care what you do with it today. I don't know why. She deliberately misunderstanding.
I'm saying misunderstanding. I'm saying
No,
again,
because you were deliberately
you're arguing that you're arguing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, people always say that when they can't defeat you.
You're totally for real.
Especially when it's a tab topic. I know you can play it
Like being such a antagonist and it just being so provocative. You know how you have shock. That's you. Everybody knows to come in here for shock.
Democracy Dance.
Leave the feelings at the door.
I'm John Kitover.
I get what you're saying that hey.
I'm not going to ask no white boy call me nigga. Okay, that's not going to happen on this stage.
Wait, what? Let me ask you this question. Who made that statement that white people call you nigga? Who said that?
I'm saying when you white boy, somebody get on the stage and say nigga, I'm not going to be happy. especially if they're like her.
No one's saying that.
Because
No, we're talking about the history.
Nathan, quit messaging.
We're talking about the history of.
Yeah.
We're talking about the history of the word species. We're saying, we're talking about the history of the word, right? We're saying that the word was not always a slur.
Families know that.
You know who helped me out with this? He said this. It was not always a slur. It became a slur. And guess who made that point, Ms. PC? Guess who made that point? Me. I've been saying that the word wasn't always a slur. But you know what you do? You say, you know what? I know, when I'm right, I'm gonna always be right. I'm gonna fight for what's right. That's the difference between us. If your slip is showing, and I'm telling you, hey, your slip is showing, you say, Nathan, you don't know what you're talking about. My slip is showing. I'm gonna keep on telling you that your slip is showing.
Who was telling me this, and I'm gonna look and fix it because it's you.
Yeah.
You show me that,
Nathan, quit. I'm getting too many notifications, brother. Quit texting me and telling me to call Miss JP the N-word. I'm not going to do it. I know you want me to, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Don't do that anymore. Come on.
Just see for you know.
What's hilarious, Miss JP, is you brought up the 90s, right? And like the culture and change against like rap music and court cases. Do you know the creation of what gave the whites the ability to get away with this shit?
The whites.
Because the conversation.
No. Weakened the word and now allow white people to say N-word. All news shows and broadcasters.
You know what?
You like that?
Yeah. But I'm saying this though. Don't just put me in Andrew. Put Tupac there too. Because Tupac was one of the an individual from a great think tank from for African Americans. He was him and his group of young individuals. They said that, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna rebrand the word. It didn't mean, and he said this in an interview. When you use the NITR, you're talking about whips and chains. And when I use IGGA, I'm talking about a whip and he's motion, the hand gesture to show that he's in a car. And I'm talking about chains, like gold chains, right? But if you have a white person, like let's ask Andrew, would you say the N word with the A?
He doesn't have a reason.
Would I say it in public?
Yeah, would you call a black person that? Because from what Tupac says, that the N-word isn't any.
Someone give this nigger Andrew the N-word pass? You just got the pass from the species. That was crazy. No, Hank apparently has the pass. But no, I called Nagu. He came on stage in GU. He came on stage and I said, "What's up, my Nagu?"
This is why
that's the most I've done.
Because we let people all into the.
No, Miss CC, hit me up, Miss CC. I'm saying this. Let me just land. So look, Tupac gave the definition of the term, right?
Bro, no one wants to land because you're waffling.
And this interview, right? Okay, come on, great. Chill.
Bro, you're just saying words. You're waffling. No one wants to hear it.
Control the atheism, bro.
You gotta
control your fucking autism.
No one wants to hear this shit.
Then leave. Alright, listen, shut your black ass up. Let me move your black ass down. Yeah. Anyway,
Andrew's people, bro. It's the people Andrew.
Exactly.
That's your fanboy, man. What the fuck? Back to the conversation.
You gotta leave your strays where you found them at, bro. Don't be bringing them up beside your feet.
Our hate code.
Exactly.
You can't feed the trolls. You know that, Andrew. That's true. I do. But I still feed you. But go ahead, Nate.
I'm on the line. So look, Andrew is even hesitant. Listen, Andrew is even hesitant to say it, right? Tupac said, hey, it does not, he said, N-I-G-G.
Andrew might be like me. So I'm going to say something, and if you disagree with me, Andrew, you can say that you do. But the reason that we choose to say something
validation of that doesn't matter as much as like what we strongly believe.
What do you mean by external validation of that, if you don't mind?
Like other people's interpretation of it, like regardless of whose race it is or who it is and who we're talking to. Like it's an internal decision. So he would never be comfortable saying that.
Do you use the term faggot by any chance, Emma?
No, I don't ever use that.
Okay.
You never used it?
I didn't mean that in an aggressive manner. I'm not.
How young are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm not young. I'm not typically young, no.
You just crushed it. Do you curse?
Yeah, sometimes I do have that fault sometimes, yes.
I'm surprised to hear a hag up using the F slur, actually, considering how left-leaning you are, hag up. You know, anti-MAGA, anti-conservative.
It's actually very concerning, Andrew.
It is. I'm surprised.
Non-LGBT supporting Marxist.
You know, that's interesting.
I am so upset that these gays and trans have completely taken over our communist and socialist party.
Crazy.
Because they would be massacred in the fields if Trotsky or Stalin was around today.
Wow, you are an unusual mix.
I'm not actually that fucking leftist, bro. You have to understand the time I grew up in, right? I was born in '93. I'm very young, compared to some other people in this room, but I grew up with South Park, brother. And South Park literally made it a point to differentiate why faggot isn't offensive, but the N-word is.
Did they use the F-slur?
Yes, South Park actually used it. 93 was a thing.
I can't imagine South Park would use it anymore. They used it back then. I didn't know that they did. Did South Park actually use that slur? Does anybody know? Because I actually don't know that that's offend people. Like, it depends on why it's offending them is what matters to me. Right? So if somebody, it's not so much about the words that somebody's saying, it's like what they're trying to express, and that would include the way they're saying it. So like if somebody's trying to express some kind of hurt or trying to generally denigrate people, I can understand people being upset by that, right? But if somebody's saying it in a joking way, it's just like somebody wants to call me a cracker or a polar bear or an Edomite. Usually, even when they're meaning it, I'm okay with it. But if they're joking around, I know they're joking around, and that doesn't bother me, right? It doesn't matter how, maybe vile
You're an Oleg.
somebody might take that. What's that? What'd you say?
The most offensive word is like someone calls you an Oleg.
Andrew, what if I were to say it should bother you?
I don't necessarily agree because it obviously
Like just real quick, Andrew.
Yeah.
Like in my culture, right? There are certain words you shouldn't joke with around women and children. Like you could joke, like you could call someone a motherfucker in Armenian. It's 9 times out of 10 it will start a physical fight, right? You could incorporate that into a joke, right? But even when you say it as a joke, it's looked down upon, and you have to be like very, very careful on who and when you curse. And I personally think, being exposed to the LA culture where pretty much anything goes and anything could be a joke, I think being reserved is a great way for a society to function. I think there's a lot of benefits, and you don't water down the words. Like when you call someone a motherfucker, like prepare to fight. And I think this overusing of every word is retarded. It's retarded.
It's retarded. I love how you say it's retarded. That's funny. But let me just, we should be reserved. Not being reserved is retarded. But let me just say, there's a comedian, I wish we were on Discord because I would play a clip, but there's a comedian that I have just an enormous amount of respect for because he packs his rooms out with just every ethnicity, every background. And he just does jokes that are, they're genuinely fun, right? Racial stereotypes, everything like that. And everybody's laughing together. no animosity. There's like this, it's a tearing down of racial barriers. And I have a lot of respect for that approach. I'm also not opposed to what you're saying, like as far as being reserved. I think that's another way to go. I do think there are certain things that are sacred that you shouldn't be joking about, shouldn't make jokes about it, right? And be like, demeaning. I wouldn't want to be demeaning about Christ or anything about God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yet, how many comedians, right, about Christ, but never about other religious figures, right?
Oh, I agree.
You know why? It's our fault, Andrew.
Yeah, because we don't stand up.
We're not the ones, right, cutting people's heads off, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not advocating for violence. But clearly there's a difference here.
Yeah, I agree. They take advantage of our passivity and the fact that a lot of Christians are going to, turn the other cheek, so to speak, or they're not going to, run a jihad on you if you're, coming against Jesus. You can do the most.
I think you just have to read the room. Just read the room.
Certainly.
You don't have to have that.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the what do you call that? They're socially awkward or something. They just don't know when to suppress things. I don't know.
I think it's emotional intelligence. Some people lump it under that.
You have to read the room. You're not going to go in there and say the N-word in front of a bunch of nanas or something. When I say nanas, meaning, grandmothers or whatever. You just don't. Even if you can say it, it doesn't mean that it's right all the time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, there are contexts, and I think it'd be inappropriate and whatnot, right? If somebody was telling you how horrific the Holocaust was, and they're like crying and telling you about how, their great-grandparents or whoever, right, went through the Holocaust, and or their grandparents.
I had a manager who's I want to say it wasn't his grandfather, but I know his son. They gave him his bar mitzvah in Israel. How cool is that? You know what I mean? So we got to know a lot about each other because he was our manager at the station. Absolutely. So we got to know each other's culture. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, right, if somebody was giving some kind of testimony about that and you were just like, I don't think that would be the time to make the joke about the ovens and the Jews, or what's the difference between a pizza and a Jew, right? I don't think that is the time to make that kind of a joke. But
finish it. I don't know that one.
The Jews don't. I'm sorry, the pizza doesn't scream when you put them in the oven. But the thing is about that is that a lot of people aren't gonna. I know. The thing about that is there's going to be times that are appropriate where you can joke with people, even about things that are very sensitive. And it could be appropriate or more appropriate, right? But there's going to be times when it's not. So I agree it's very much contextual. And it very much matters.
That one's kind of like yikes.
It's brutal. So, I mean, people, but I really do think it's the intention of the person that is expressing what they're saying that is the crucial thing that you should acknowledge, right? I don't think that you should just take the words that they're using, and that should be what offends you necessarily. I think you should be looking at the intention of the person. I think that's what should matter.
I saw a comedian somewhat recently. Hey everybody, salute to the room. From Detroit, Michigan, where it's warming up here. Yay. I saw a comedian, his name, Kevin something, but I'll think of it in a second. But he's a recovering alcoholic. He was really funny and everything, but he was making addict jokes a little bit. Not that I'm offended, but a lot of people got up and walked out, and because they were offended about, but it was just like the content. I mean, it just didn't sit right with this particular audience. It didn't bother me, but it was, again, you got to read the room.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And the thing that I wanted to say is it's also like, and Emma, I don't know if you can comment on this, but it's not just offending somebody that should be the rule, right? Because obviously, I'm going to say Jesus is to look at the metric. It's not like that's the deciding factor. So just saying, somebody might be very attached to Islam, and you'd be like, it's not that you should be heartless about it. But you can just be like, look, Christianity is true and Islam is false. If push comes to shove, I mean, this is really the truth of it. And I think that but there are some things that are offensive that, yeah, you should consider who's hearing it and what the intention is for you expressing it to the group of people that are.
And it doesn't matter. Like, when you think it's offensive, not someone else, you're accountable for thinking about your words. You're responsible.
Yeah, your words are like your biggest weapon if you want to, not in a good way or a bad way.
I kind of agree with medieval shit. I think that the gesture of the comedian here doing the social commentary should be free to use all the slurs and all the words. Okay, us laymen should know that there's consequences for the words.
There was a limit to any particular king. Like you could make fun of his wife.
Like, for example, to Andy Dick once, he said, have you ever heard the 9/11 call? What does he say? Hey,
oh, this is a different one. Is this the one that was on the podcast? Where
he goes, have you ever heard the 9/11 call from Kennedy? And he goes, I think you mean 911. He goes, well, yeah, 9/11 is a national tragedy, which makes the other person laugh, and then he turns it on them. He's like, what are you laughing about this for? I'm obviously not telling you right now. You check it out. What do you want me to do?
Last warning. This is your last warning.
Be a little bit more prepared next time, Tim.
It was ridiculous, Tim. I can't believe it. Wait, hold on. Mother, go ahead. Let's not talk about the pedophile stuff today, bro. I had a long day. I don't want to get into yelling.
Yeah, let's
rather talk about racial words, their impacts. Get into some philosophy. It'd be fun.
How come nobody asked me how my day is going?
Because we're talking about if the word faggot or the N-word are offensive.
Well, can I take the faggot one?
You sure can.
So, I do think, we have kind of gotten desensitized to it. Like, the gays call each other faggots all the time, but like a straight person can't call us that. And I think that is the same.
What if I call a person faggot that has nothing to do with their sexuality? It's just their behavior.
Yeah, like you're acting faggy, like The Office.
Oh, well, I would never say faggot.
It is ascertaining behavior in a derogatory fashion. You're not saying that in like a positive light.
Well, what if we just throw him to the faggots?
Yo, faggy sounds much better. It actually sounds endearing.
Well, you gotta think. I mean, listen.
Faggy sounds a little endearing.
Like, before Mother's people came along, Dizzle, the word faggot was used to refer to a bundle of sticks that was used at the stake to burn these heathen witches. So then Mother's people came along, and they hijacked everything. Faggots. They hijacked the rainbow, which, mind you, was that every province. Yes.
I'm going to put some at the pump. I'm going at the pump. And also,
I'm after lying.
Yo, attention.
Mother's people.
Spanish speakers here. Mother and Puffman. People call me racist because I like to say the word blackie, right? I throw out the word blackie. But as Spanish speakers, can you guys translate what blackie, like how would it be in Spanish?
So it would be
Negrito. All right. Is negrito endearing, right? Like it's endearing in our culture and our language.
So here's the thing.
I don't know about your culture.
Wait, hold on, Puff. I'm a real Hispanic on here.
Of course.
I'm crying. What I was gonna say is, like, in our cultures, we don't have the same racial animosity as America does. Like, calling someone negrito is not something. It's like it's not equivalent to the N-word. If people love to use that, it's not the same thing. Like, you can call someone negrito and it not be like derogatory or aggressive. It can kind of be like a term of, you know, where like.
No, I don't think so.
Yo, is Niggy worse than nigga? Is Niggy worse than nigga?
I'm sick of him anyway. He's been calling me nigga all night, y'all.
I ain't seen that.
Fifi, come on, you gotta fight back, Fifi. You gotta fight back.
I wish Aiken was here. I wish Aiken was
Fight back. Don't let that nigga Dizzle do you like that.
I ain't calling her
Fight
nigga.
back, girl.
The fuck?
Yes, he did. He might as well have.
Shame on you, Dizzle. Shame. Shame. How dare you disrespect the Fifi like that?
So nobody's really gonna ask me how my day went?
No, not really. We're not interested. But I'll tell you what, man. How long have you been down in Florida for?
So, all right. So, mother, how was your day? Good. I've been feeling like a bad bitch all goddamn day.
Okay, so now to the question. How long have you been in Florida for?
11 years? 12 years?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been here.
So was it your family came up from the DR up to New York like most typical Dominicans do? Or?
No, we came, so, I don't know if your mother's, but I'm half Puerto Rican. So my mom's side of the family was in Miami. And so, they moved to Miami, and it was like Miami in the 1980s, and my dad was like, this is a hellhole. Why did we move here from DR? This is a shithole. And then they moved to Chicago. And that was a very long time ago. Miami's a beautiful city now, but it was really bad in the 80s and 90s.
Got it.
It was like,
so your dad needed somebody for Miami, though? Isn't that peak Miami? Your dad sprinkled some gay niggas in there.
It happens everywhere. The gays move in, we make it nice, and then the heteros want to come back and shove us out. Like, I did all the hard work. You notice how he doesn't bring up the portion about how they price out all the people that were original?
Right.
The populations.
Yeah, they're very exclusive. Yeah.
This is why. What are you talking about? We literally this reason exactly. Gentrification is the reason I don't use that.
That's why you gotta throw to the faggots. Burn them.
I'm just saying, if you see gay men moving into your neighborhood, you should be happy because your property value is gonna go.
Well, I gotta tell you, if a gay guy was into him, I think he'd want to call 911 because that sounds like rape.
Yeah, and by the way, I was gonna yell yes, queen, when you said you were a bad bitch on there. I didn't know you were gay.
Not too much of a mother.
You didn't know that? No, I didn't. So you don't mind the other ones? No, other gays can call me faggot. I don't care. No. What about straight people? Because I don't know. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, but what about them just using it like Hagop did?
Well, Hagop wasn't the one that used it.
To prove the maggot cock.
Like I don't think trying because they use
Carlo is maggot cock.
Like if I didn't like it, I'd be like, hey, what the fuck are you saying? He knows I love the gays. You know this, Andrew. I'm just anti. Oh yeah. No, you said LGBTQIA, my friend. Yes, because the gays that I know. Okay, I'm gonna slightly dox myself. Yeah, you're I'm gonna slightly dox myself. So if you Google my full name, I think Oleg knows the story. If you Google my full name, I wrote a paper in a bunch of places.
Oh, that is good.
And the title of the paper was The Development of the LGB/queer Identity in the Armenian Culture. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I got this shit published everywhere, Andrew. Everywhere. I'm an ally to the gays. I didn't even know there were gays in Armenia, bro. I had no idea. There are. There are gays everywhere, bro. And like there's a huge diaspora community in Los Angeles, in Boston, right? And I interviewed a lot of people and how like their gay identity mixed with their Armenian identity, the difficulty of being a Christian and dealing with all of these things, like coming from a culture that is extremely prideful in their race and ethnicity and all that.
Okay.
Aren't you that big Russian? Like,
you want to shoot your shot? Go ahead.
All the gays I interviewed asked me one question.
You interviewed gays, bro?
Yeah.
Is he available? You know what the question that he wants to ask?
In person? Were the interviews in person? Some of them were in person.
Cosmopolitan.
Skype. Some of them were Skype. So every gay and lesbian I interviewed, or bisexual, asked me one thing. They're like, please do not include trans Armenians. They said do not include the trans community.
Wow, really?
We don't like them.
When was this? What year was this? What year was this?
2014, 2014. What was this? 2015, 2015.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I interviewed one guy who was in his 60s. I think he might have been 70s, 60s. His name was Suren. Suren is one of the first people in like the Los Angeles Armenian community to be outed about his sexuality because he died from AIDS. And this guy did a lot of work for like the AIDS Foundation down here, all this stuff. And he was one of the people who goes, bro, please, I'm begging you, attacking what Sugar Belly says, right? They're attacking like feminism. This intersectionality doesn't really cross over. And all the gays said like they're taking our men.
Yeah, because the attraction to a woman is still there, because that's the actual natural course of the human race. But hey, look, what do we know? You know. Hey, quick question, yo, mother, what was the name that you used to go by a couple of years back when we first met you in here? If you don't mind me asking, I remember you used to go by something else. Is he there? He probably gave up on me.
Yo, I'm in the shower. Hold on.
Oh, no, you got it. All right, Nathan. Thank you, sir. Nicholas. That's right. And then he went to Nick. And then he went to some other shit. Yeah, Nicholas. That's right.
Nicholas is his real name. He went by Nicolations.
Yeah, Nicolations. Yeah.
Nicolations. Yeah, but then I got off. Right when he went to Nicolations, that's when I got off. Nathan, what was you going to say something?
Well, I just wanted to ask you about men.
Oh, I thought it was Nathan.
Oh, is it Nathan? Go ahead, Nathan.
No. I know somebody.
I'll be fast. Do you see my PTR?
Yeah.
So this is a drawing of my oldest son, bro.
It kind of looks like you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You're crazy.
Who's that, Concrete?
I don't know if you're lying or not.
Since Concrete?
Listen,
Y'all know Concrete is Nathan's oldest son, right?
Yes, sir.
Concrete
Concrete is Nathan's oldest son, man.
No,
that's not concrete.
Nathan's definitely fathered. I gotta say, the Puff Man, I hope Nathan has done a good job of shepherding this room and getting all the people here to bow down to the truth of Christ. I hope that is what Nathan has done. So I'm just assuming that that's what's occurred, Puff Man, and that you yourself have been shepherded by Nathan into acknowledging the Christian truth.
Andrew, I'll tell you what, the only thing I believe is that Clubhouse is, in fact, not only a PSYOP machine, but Nathan is part of that machine, and he's being paid to wrangle all the retards on Clubhouse and keep us up while the other rooms grow and fruitfully disperse their seeds across this heathenist platform. Outside of, yeah, Nathan is cool, man. Nathan's cool. But I tell you what, I need Nathan to bring me to the feet of our Creator. It's pretty obvious when we step outside that none of this happened out of a big bang. There is, in fact, a Creator who created all of this. Yeah, ooh, Andrew, you don't know me like that, Andrew. And you know what's crazy? We've been around each other. It's the Puff Man. And, I know how to do I do the impersonations and shit, so nobody really takes me seriously. But outside of that, man, listen, I'm always up for these. I can't wait for Tom Holland to show up at this motherfucker's door and report his ass. I want this motherfucker so gone from everything.
Oh, he's not. Oh,
man. We need Faisal deported from planet Earth. How about that? We need to put this motherfucker on one of them Elon rockets.
Basil is not only an illegal alien, but he's also a Muslim, so there's two reasons.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. We gotta get him out of here.
Yeah, I think what you had.
So how do you plan to get me out of here?
I'm just gonna come to your door.
You'll get me out of here by keeping me where I'm at my country.
I want to get you out of the United States because you're a Muslim and you are an immigrant.
So first, excuse me,
Faisal, I just want to announce, excuse me, quiet, baby, quiet, excuse me. How dare you? So I just want you to know that Tom Hogan is on his way to your house. I somehow, you excuse me, quiet, you ought to learn that when real.
I'm trying to kill. I'm running for Congress.
Excuse me, quiet, baby. Quiet. You gotta learn when to be quiet.
I'm trying to kill.
Because you're an embarrassment to yourself now. That's to satisfy. All things. But I will say this, and you can't die for peace.
Let's make this through.
I am the president of the United States, okay? But I will say this, we are going to deport you. What is happening here?
Just raise my frequency, man. So you're raising the
Iraq. You know that is. We are picking her up from Ireland because Ireland has had enough of her. And we're going to put her together on the same rocket. And we're going to send you off into the distance to never see you again. And you know, look, I was trying to be a nice guy. I was really trying to send you to the Uyghur camps, okay, to have you put some iPhones together. But you're a douchebag, okay? So that's how we're going to handle you from moving on, okay?
But here I do. How dare you insinuate that I chose to step foot in the bitch ass country that I says for? I would never.
Well, that's the reason why you're still fucking ghosts, okay? It's quite obvious, okay? You're still drinking Coke milk, okay? That's why you're ass backwards, okay? And you wear your flip-flops on the wrong foot, okay? It's why you never aim when you shoot. That's the reason why you folks never kill anything, okay? But you sure know how to aim for a goat's vagina. You guys are very well known for that.
Use explosive vests.
World renowned. That's because you guys are cowards.
More like we're into fashion.
I would also like to take the time to announce that we're also taking over Gaza. We're going to be building some beautiful buildings in Gaza. You're going to see it's going to be a beautiful thing. And we're going to make sure that Nathan and Andrew have penthouses on the top, most highest floors.
Trump's
yes, sir.
Trump's voice doesn't sound so chiseled like that.
Well, that's because you're fake news. That's really why.
Yeah, that's like a staging a protest. Oh, sorry, folks. Rough night at the burrito buffet? That's why all y'all are there. What do you guys think of that?
The committee as your next congressman, I will always stand with our ally Israel. And when I say stand, I mean it. Why should I stand with our president? Oh, Chicago deserves a mayor who actually citizens of the temple.
Yeah, we're the mentally retarded kid on the block with a Glock. Absolutely.
Yeah, he doesn't feel the stimulation of the jerk.
You think of it this way. People who didn't migrate from where they are, they have friends, they have people who care about them, they love them, respect them, and all of that. But the ones who migrate, they were like, I guess I got nothing left.
Or you're a billionaire.
Really a quality of your country. Besides, like, I don't know, bribing them.
Bribing works, Faisal.
Yeah, God forbid I ever step foot in there. You guys call it the old world, y'all the new world, the old world is good.
Yeah, like, what do you think guys like Faisal are gonna do when the aliens show up? They
put their heads in the sand, bro. Put their heads in.
I know Andrew's gonna run out with his Bible. He's gonna start casting out all the demons and rebuking. Right?
Yeah, if I gotta cast the demon out of Haggai, he would just disappear.
Ah, shit. That's crazy. So
like that thing when they tell you to take medication for parasites, but be very careful because the medication may make you disappear too. Because you were in fact the fucking parasite.
This is what the Turks said about the Armenians. This is what Jacobus has said this entire.
Americans, the state of our union is strong, stronger than ever.
Realize y'all are racist and shit.
No, I'm just quiet because, the scriptures tell me that the lost will be like the sands of the ocean, so you clearly point yourself out.
As a gay, you think that partaking in that sort of activity?
I'm clearly an Orthodox Turk who's too proud to call themselves Turkish. It's one of those.
Hang up, you and Faisal are, you guys are adjacent.
Not at all, bro. His people are actually
very closely adjacent.
His people are much beneath my people. I'm closer to Andrew than I am to anybody else.
Wow, look at that. You guys are aiming for the white hierarchy.
That's right. I embraced it today, actually. I embraced it today. A little while ago, I embraced my whiteness finally.
Alec, do you endorse this kind of behavior?
Absolutely not. Americans, when you're a write-in candidate, folks wonder if they'll spell your name. Okay, I'm back.
Nick, I had a question for you. I don't know if you'd be comfortable with answering these questions, but you said you have, what is it, your dad was the one that came from the Dominican Republic?
Uh-huh.
But you were born and raised here?
Yeah, I was born in Miami.
Okay. And I'm sure you took trips down to the islands and stuff, but...
I go like 7 times a year. My parents live there now.
Okay. But your mom decided to
I grew up here.
to the DR.
I grew up here in northern Illinois. We work hard.
They have a couple properties. They have one in Punta Cana and they have another one up in
Yeah, you don't gotta get into those details. That's fine, man. And God bless them, and may God give them the health that they require to enjoy those, those earthly material belongings. But either way, look.
I grew up here in Kitover.
Listen, bro, hold on.
Kitover. I'm running for Congress in Illinois 16th District as a rep.
They came, they got the money, and they left.
Yeah. So my question, when you say, so you said your mom was Puerto Rican, or excuse me, is. But was she born down in the island? Like she was from Puerto Rico and she migrated?
She was born in San Juan, and then she wanted to get away from her family, so she decided to go to the Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo.
On Kitover. I'm running for
University.
Oh, so they met in DR. Okay.
Settling in, focusing on the center of my brain.
And then he was working at Kodak. Well, I don't know if anything else is. And then he got an opportunity to go to Miami, and then citizen, we can make this happen, and then they came here, and then they
settling in.
All right, welcome in. Good evening. They bought property and went home.
Gotcha.
Good evening.
So my question is really the reason why I've been asking all these questions.
Years that I was 14 to the year I was 16, I was living in DR for a couple of years with my family, and I lived with them, and I understand everything, and so here's the island. I can tell you what the politics are that are going on right now in fucking DR. I can tell you the economic data. I'm fully invested in the prosperity of my nation, right? So, then you have these whitewashed Dominicans that go to New York. They forget their roots, right?
For a long shift.
At that point, so why do you?
It was no, I don't know where you got hate, but either way, look, the whole thing is
Trying to focus on the center of your brain.
Not only was I talking to her,
I'm a physician.
my mom wanted me to be from there. She was
I'm a physician, a veteran, and a neighbor here
where I was born, and the more crucial part of it all is the fact that I could never. It was.
I'm John Kitover.
I'll make it layman's terms.
I'm John Kiddo.
It was the fact that I was going from
I'm John Kiddo.
New York.
Now, I know what you're
Where
thinking.
I had self-electricity, constant running hot water, constant electricity, and I know the country's not like that anymore.
It sounds like hate, brother.
But the thing was, like, I never understood what my mom's. I guess I understand it now because I'm older, but I never really understood.
I've seen the light. The channel changer has spoken. From this day forward, I, Brother John, shall spread
These motherfuckers don't have electricity.
Whoa! What's happening here?
Just don't get me wrong. There were times when we would like go to the beach. You know, growing up from New York, I was always like, oh man, the only time I got to see a park, you know, in the concrete jungle was during the summertime. But outside of that, I never understood why we have folks that were born and raised here. To witness, just like you. But I never understood people who never lived a single day in their life. In the struggle that is to live down in the island, they were born and raised on pancakes, McDonald's, bacon, all the wonderful things that is America. But then some way, somehow, to make themselves.
Let's make this third eye proud.
That was exotic.
Inner peace. Let's make this
of some sort. They call themselves something they're not. So I just that part is the part that I've never understood. I've never been able to say, oh, you're Dominican, because the thing is, my parents are from there. There's nothing about that island that I can correlate to me, my culture, and where I come from. So you know, whenever I would see I'll end it with this. Whenever I would see him
democracy hands
down there, my fucking stomach still to this day churns. Those boiled plantains and that boiled yuca with all
this is crazy, yo.
Yeah, that shit. You know, like if I don't got a bowl of corn pops and some bacon or a and cheese biscuit or something for me, I'm
running for Congress.
Yo, I starved a lot when I was down there in 5.
So here's the thing. That's the difference between you and I. Like, I love Latinos. I love planting.
I'm John.
Food. I love our rice. I love
families know the debt.
I love going to DR, dancing with my
families know the debt is.
I love basically everything. And the way people down there live with so much fucking joy without not having a ton. So much joy in the little things. The lack of Americans are so fucking isolationist. Like when you go.
Families know the debt is out of control. Washington keeps spending and passes the bill to our kids. Our national debt just passed $34 trillion and it's climbing up. Families know the debt is out of control.
Wait, hold on. This is exactly why I love Miami.
No, you're not gonna do Big Mike either.
It's Latin, but it's in the United States. It's either here or LA.
Families know the debt is out of control.
Yeah, you know, the main thing stuff.
My families know that
I'm from the Bronx, and I'm from an area in the Bronx where
I compare the Bronx to us. No.
So hold on, you know what I'm saying? So when I would go down there, and I would see these people playing these very, may I add, Afrocentric instruments, even though they love to deny their blackness.
Families know that
I could never relate to it. And
to address the Bronx situation, right? Because
there's a Bronx situation.
Yeah, how did Dominicans end up in
my families know?
Let's start there.
My dad, my grandfather on my mom's side, all his kids, and the moment they arrived, they immediately went to school and university. All of my aunts and uncles, they all speak fluent English. Being down there for 5 years and seeing how they struggle, how they live,
Americans.
I can't stand here and be like, oh yeah,
you're just an advanced version of what like 3 or 4 generations, right? You're just an advanced version of what like 3 or 4 generations, right? It just for some reason you skipped beat, you went straight fuller into assimilation.
No, it's worse than assimilation. It's disdain.
Maybe my kids might feel like you, but I'm too close to the roots of my people and my culture to feel that way. I don't feel that way at all, right? Because you come from a place where you don't regularly speak Spanish. And also, let's talk about the Bronx, right? The Dominicans are in New York City and the Bronx, right? How did they get there in the first place? They went there to work in the hotels. Either the uneducated poor Dominicans and left in DR for all of the Trujillo regime. And what they brought with them was not just Dominican culture. They brought with them a culture of poverty, which is exactly why the Bronx is the way it is, right? Like, highly educated Dominicans did not come and move to the fucking Bronx. Every time I went to the Bronx, because my cousin lived there, I was like, this place is repulsive. I don't know why everybody lives over here. This is super, super fucking poor and ghetto and nasty. Why are you even living here? This is worse than living in DR. And so for me, like when you could say that the Bronx is a representation of Dominican culture, no, it's a representation of what poverty looks like in the United States.
Right. That's what I was telling you. That's what I came out of.
That's immigrant population.
Okay, great. Well, you know, it's funny because earlier.
I left Argentina, amigo. All of it. Every kilo, it's mine now. They can't stop me. I'm taking all the gold with me. Tel Aviv, here I come.
Defending the young and dumb, the young and ignorant that come to this country, or the dumb and ignorant.
If you're trying to coordinate,
defaming our great nation. Right. Well, apparently. Well, I'm just doing the same thing now too.
I'm not doing that.
Families know that there's a factor. Washington comes from a poor spot on an island down in the Caribbean, and he strives to bring his entire family and works 2 jobs. And he has his kids assimilated. When his grandchildren are born, they're fully assimilated, and they're not running around trying to claim some shit that they're not. Apparently, that's low level shit.
I mean, that's crazy. The way you should have framed this is like, hey, I no longer feel a cultural connection to my country or my people, therefore I claim the United States. Well, this is the culture that I'm more comfortable with. That's better than telling me I kind of feel special because I acknowledge my group.
No. It's kind of insulting, Puff, man. I don't know why. All right, concrete. I don't complicate it. It's not that complicated. This is all. So, 1 second, brother. I didn't interrupt you. I'm going up the Nate. They was able to participate. I'm gonna go now, bro. Thank you. All right, thank you. Anyway, getting on my nerves like Puff Man. Puff Man, you made it very clear your antipathy towards the Dominican Republic and the culture. You made it very clear. In fact, you repeated yourself, right? You can be childish all you want, but you're the one that's the one who have a closeness to their cultural heritage. And then you get mad when niggas call you out for it. Somebody gotta make it make sense. Why are you here? It's almost like niggas want to have it one way. Nicholas, all he want. 1 second, brother. All he want to do, Nicholas, is he want to shit on you and you connect that he does with his people, and he thinks you're fucked up for it. He thinks you're claiming something that you're not, even though it's your fucking heritage, which is insanity. Some form of fucking, I don't want to go there, but anyway, Puff man, if you have a beef with your people, you gotta let that shit go. You should, and you said it in your own maturity. You're gonna over talk, bro. You gonna be hurt like that, bro? I can hear your background noise. Can you mute up, Puff? Why did I go there? The food is disgusting. The people are disgusting. Why is this nigga doing this, bro? The people are disgusting. Why is this nigga doing this, bro? Can somebody tell me why this grown-ass man is being this immature? Can you hit him again, bro? Yo, Knowledge, can you hit him again? Because he can't control himself. You gotta wait till they land, bro. You gotta wait till I land, bro. This fucking weird-ass nigga repeated himself, same stupid-ass message, and is mad that people are responding to it. And I would have been kinder and more gentle about it, but the nigga wanted to act like a weirdo behind it. And you acted like a weirdo to Nicholas, who deserves it on a lot of occasions, but not for fucking being. Hold on 1 second, brother. But not for having dignity and respect and honor for his heritage, which you obviously don't have, which is a fucking shame.
Well, damn.
Yeah, so Nicholas, the point that I was trying to make before, because I could have sworn it was you and I talking, but it's all right. The whole thing is that I could understand if I would have been perhaps brought down there, left down there, and told, hey, look, you may have been born here, but we want you to be directly integrated into these groups. I don't think I ever said that, 1, I'm mad. I don't think I sound mad. 2, I don't think I ever said I hate niggas. But, hey, look, it's funny. Every time I try to have this conversation, either I have LARPers that jump into the conversation and want to take somebody else's position or get offended on behalf of somebody else. But the crazy thing is that I find it interesting how I'm supposed to completely eradicate
all of the culture that I grew up around in the parks back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I'm supposed to substitute that for something that, albeit, yes, I was exposed mildly perhaps to it. And, you know, I did spend 5 years down there. But even then, I still had no connection to it because I understood that I wasn't from there. That's basically the whole point. So and Nicholas, just to be on the clear, I'm gonna entertain. Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna entertain the bullshit that came from the other side. Did you at any point in time feel like I offended you? I could have sworn we was having a conversation. I was just asking you questions.
It was kind of an insult.
Kinda. I was having. What was this?
But it was like. It was a little like condescending.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what was condescending?
Bro, man up.
What was condescending though, nigga?
Yeah, I you gay. We talk about I hate playing games. I hate the food that they feed me. I don't even like the island. I think I had such a terrible experience. Blah blah blah. That's why I asked you if you hate your family because when I go down there, man, I'm so excited.
But how is that? How is my personal experience
from what you said, Mother, about not being fully able to integrate in the Dominican and not being fully able to integrate in the U.S.? It was just a little bit closer to the negative side of that spectrum than you were. But that doesn't mean he's any different than you. It's like literal diaspora struggles. I don't think he was trying to be offensive.
What was considered negative about her statement, and I gave that response. I'm not saying I
got you.
But because he was putting down his own people. Which is fine.
But this is the thing, though. You see, once again, so this is the thing.
Do I get to answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
So real quick. So my situation is significantly different from yours, right?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
My mom cooked Dominican food in my house every single day of my life, from the time that I was 1 until I was fucking moved out to college. When I went to college for the first time, I had to fucking start eating burgers and fries at the age of fucking 20 and trying to figure out why white people eat oatmeal and all this white people shit at university because I was not exposed to that. I ate a traditional Dominican breakfast every day. We would call our grandma every fucking other day, talk to my family on the phone, fly down there multiple times a year. Never lost my connection to our people. We met up.
Impact on the sun. You can like the sun. You can hate it when it's too hot, but that's not going to affect the sun, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
So in that sense, you can say it's transcendent. It's not contingent on you, but at the same time,
we're trying to unite all people.
Unify all the like religions and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Which is basically what Muhammad was doing, and I mean, it's just that's literally it. Syncretization, right?
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so you're not like a takfir type of dude. Like you're not.
We takfir anyone who's against the goal.
Dave, how could you be in so many discussions and not come to that conclusion earlier?
No, because he's takfir somebody before, but he's not what you would call a takfiri.
No, definitely not. Who did you takfir before?
Well, yeah. So I mean, we takfir, like we do all the stuff, right? We do all the stuff that works in whatever context. So, you know, when we get, because obviously we always get takfired by the dogmatists, right? Because for example, you know, if we kind of teach evolution, they takfir us because they think that Muhammad's like essence was to teach the creation of Adam myth. But no, he was repurposing the creation of Adam. He doesn't care about the creation of Adam narrative. It was a tool. It was a utensil to say, okay, you guys believe in this, and maybe he believed in it too, by the way. I mean, you guys believe in this? Okay, well, this, you know, it was Allah who established Adam on earth. It was the divine reality that established Adam, and he is the Khalifa. He is the trustee. He is the deputy of God. So you are deputies. You carry this burden of bringing God down to earth. You know,
I mean, there's many reasons why he would have repurposed that narrative, and he does this throughout his speeches during his kind of political revolution. So that's
if you were born in a religion.
Well, yeah, I was kind of raised in a traditionalist Muslim household. I mean, yeah, kind of.
And now it's like you're this. You're like this. Maybe.
Yeah, I was traditionalist 12 Shi'i until around 2 years ago, and then I was guided. No, and then I have some friends who, I don't know if they're in the room actually, Ilyas and some others, and yeah, we discussed philosophy and history and my kind of appreciation for evidentiary standards, and I kind of reflected on my dogma basically. I looked at critical history. I reflected on the dogmas, and I realized, wow, it's so there's so much dogma. And then I realized, and usually at that point people would